Welcome back to Grit on the Rocks podcast. And this is a Friday Fumas edition. I'm your host, David, and I want to continue 2025 with some meaningful conversations. While also enjoying some humor, sometimes a great cigar and a drink in hand, if that's your thing. So today we're going to be taking a little look into the dangers of vanity. The trap of focusing on the wrong things for the wrong reasons. Vanity is more than just a flaw. It's a distraction from living a life of purpose. From living a life of authenticity and substance. And we don't shallow here on Grit on the Rocks. As you know, this is Grit on the Rocks podcast, a Buenos Dias media production, Friday Fumas edition.
This podcast is a Buenos Dias media production.
This is the Grit on the Rocks podcast, where raw conversations meet smooth sips. Pull up a chair, pour your favorite drink, puff on your favorite cigar, and join us as we dive into the convos that matter. No scripts, no barriers, just unfiltered truth served straight up. Cheers to the real ones out there. Salud.
We're starting 2025, trying to see if we can get you guys at least more than 2 episodes a week. We're trying to hit for 3 episodes a week, and this is the third one of this week, Friday Fumas edition, and we're talking about vanity, right? Far too many times I see people falling into the so-called keeping up with the Jones or Joneses, as they say. Growing up, I saw so many people trying to live above their means, focusing on name brands and appearances, even if it sunk them deeper into debt. I grew up seeing this constantly. But as long as they kept up that image for others to see, they were content. They were fine with it. But then I started learning, as I grew older, you start learning lessons from the rich, right? You start doing your research. You start reading. And you start learning how they focus on building wealth quietly instead of creating this image for everyone to see. Through loss, I learned to focus on the things that really matter in life. I learned to set clear goals and work towards them daily, right? One step at a time, while enjoying the journey and feeling gratitude for what I already have. And no matter how much or how little it might be, it's important to enjoy the journey. It's important to feel gratitude for what you have at the moment. That doesn't mean you're content with it. You want more, and that's fine. But you learn how to aim for that, right? To set clear goals and work towards them daily. I learned to love myself, to love my life, to be appreciative for my life and those around me, and to focus on my immediate family as my North Star, along with counting with God as guidance.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, guest, and/or participants of this show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Buenos Dias Media LLC, its associates, partners, and show sponsors. The content is intended for entertainment purposes and should not be construed as professional advice. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, so vanity, when we talk about vanity, it isn't just about being overly concerned with your looks or your possessions. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that prioritizes appearances over substance. It's about chasing recognition, validation, material gain at the expense of what truly matters. So let's go down this, I guess, is a short list of 4, right? Four tips about vanity and the traps that vanity can create in our life. Right? It's 4 or 5 of these anyway. So let's start with the trap of appearances. Vanity makes us prioritize how we look over who we are. It's that voice telling you to buy that expensive car that you just can't afford, or to post the perfect Instagram photo to show everyone you're living your best life. But here's the reality. Appearances are temporary. They don't last forever. I mean, imagine spending your energy trying to impress people who wouldn't care about you in a crisis. The truth is, you can't build real relationships, careers, or legacies on shallow foundations. You just can't. You shouldn't be living a life you can't afford to impress people you truly don't like, to get validation from people who you really don't care for, or they don't care about you. We got to seek cultivation of real relationships with people that care about us and our well-being. Another one is humble bragging, right? Some might get so consumed in their vanity that they need to announce everything they do, everything they buy. And they make sure to drop how much they spent in that conversation, all while trying to appear humble. We got to stop this whole humble bragging business. It's something that we see a lot in social media. Everyone sees what you're doing, to be honest. And no one's called you out on it, because sometimes those who love humble bragging think that everyone envies them, or they're just hating on them the moment someone disagrees with them. But the sad part is that, when I see men who claim to have spiritual guidance, and I'm speaking to men, right? I mean, this applies for women also, but, this is Great on the Rocks. But yeah, as an example, right, men of God that do things to create envy amongst those who surround them, right? And I've seen this, people who claim they are men and women of God, but yet they do these things, and everything they do is like they make an announcement about it, because it's like they take joy in creating envy amongst those around them. Like, this is what I have, this is what you can't have. You know what I'm saying? So, an example is like, hey, I bought my wife a pair of earrings. Oh, I got a good deal on them. I paid $10,000 for them. They usually go for $20,000. And then they'll say something like, you think that's a lot? If somebody goes, oh my gosh, you spent all that? You think that's a lot? That's a humble brag. We've all dealt with people that way. So if you're one of those men, women, maybe it's time to take a self-look at yourself and, don't do that. The emotional toll. Vanity is emotionally draining. You're constantly in competition, trying to one-up someone else's success or maintain an image that may not even reflect your true self. And let's not ignore the anxiety and insecurity it breeds. When you base your worth on external validation, you give others the power to define your value. And that's a dangerous place to live in. The next one here is missed opportunities. The saddest part of vanity is that it blinds you to real opportunities. You're so busy chasing recognition that you miss the chance to grow, to build meaningful connections, or to work towards goals that actually matter. How many people have wasted years of their lives trying to climb a ladder that leads nowhere? Men, women, don't be that person. Next one on the list is why substance always wins. What truly matters is your character, your relationships, and the impact you leave behind. People won't remember how many designer suits you owned, or how many designer shoes, or, hats, or, bags if you're a woman, right? They won't remember that. They won't remember how many followers you had on social media, but they will remember how you treated them, the integrity you showed, and the legacy you built. All right, so let's take a quick break to hear a word from one of our friends and supporters. We'll be right back. This is Great on the Rocks podcast, Friday Fumas Edition, a Buenos Dias media production.
Looking to connect with like-minded men who share your drive for success and passion for the finer things in life? Welcome to the Apex Gentlemen's Guild, a private members club for men who value ambition, camaraderie, giving back, and personal growth. For a limited time while we're fully remote, you can join the Guild for free. Gain access to tons of motivational content, exclusive events, insightful discussions, and a network of high-performance individuals. Don't miss this chance to elevate your social circle. Request to join today at facebook.com/groups/Apex Gentlemen's Guild, or give us a like at facebook.com/Apex Gentlemen's Guild. The Apex Gentlemen's Guild, excellence forged in unity.
All right, so let's take a quick break from the vanity for a moment, right? To give you this week's cigar highlight, as well as our Friday reflection. So let's highlight this week's cigar that perfectly complements the theme of today's episode. For the cigar highlight of this week, we have the Alec Bradley Black Market. Wrapper is Nicaraguan, binder is Sumatra, filler is Honduran and Panamanian. Strength is medium to full, and flavor notes include earthy tones with hints of dark chocolate, sweetness, and a peppery finish. This is a cigar that knows how to stand out without being loud. The Alec Bradley Black Market, introduced in 2011. This cigar balances boldness and complexity. It features a dark, oily Nicaraguan wrapper that gives it an earthy, robust profile, complemented by a Sumatra binder and a Honduran Panamanian filler blend. Right? What people love about the cigar is that it's the subtle depth. It doesn't need to scream luxury. It lets its craftsmanship do the talking. The flavors unfold gradually from a creamy start to a spicy, peppery finish. It's perfect for moments of reflection, much like today's topic. For pairing, I recommend a bold bourbon like Woodford Reserve, or even a dark rum to match its profile. Have you tried it yet? If not, this one's a must for your humidor. All right, so let's look at this Friday's Friday reflection. Right, the quote comes from no other than Albert Einstein, and it says, quote, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." Albert Einstein. And what was Albert Einstein telling us with this is, he wasn't telling us to avoid success. He was saying that success without substance is empty. Being a man of value, living with integrity, building relationships, and focusing on what truly matters in life. Right? When I say being a man, is being a man or being a woman of value. Right? It means living in integrity, man or women, building relationships, and focusing on what truly matters. So ask yourself, are you chasing success for the applause? Or are you building value that will last long after the clapping stops? True success is a byproduct of living with purpose and principles. So let's continue here with practical steps to avoid vanity. Right? Number one would be self-awareness. Take stock of your priorities. Are you based on genuine values or on how you want to be perceived? Think about that. Set meaningful goals. Focus on the goals that align with your core values, not just what looks impressive to others. Invest in relationships. Build connections based on mutual respect and authenticity, not status. And cultivate gratitude. Appreciate what you have instead of constantly striving for what you don't need. So the closing thoughts here would be that vanity is like smoke. It's flashy, but it fades quickly. Don't let it distract you from what truly matters. Instead, focus on authenticity, growth, and living a life of value. So thank you for tuning in and staying till the end on this Friday Fumas edition of Grit on the Rocks podcast. If this episode resonated with you, it's okay to be honest with yourself. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's kick vanity to the curb and focus on building something real. Till next time, my friends, my brothers and sisters. Keep your spirits high, your cigars lit, your glasses full, and your conversations meaningful. This is Grit on the Rocks podcast, a Buenos Dias media production. Till next time, my friends. Cheers.
Grit on the rocks tonight, met with hearts like iron bars. tackling life's endless